Hi guys, it's Kaz here and I'm at Wembley Arena at the Showstar Boxing and I'm joined by the one and only Michael Venom Page, MVP. How are you tonight?
I'm good. You know, happy that we got the W, but a little bit worried.
Congratulations. Why were you worried?
You know, he lost. It was a lot of energy towards the end, and had to kind of get stretchered out in the back. But I think there's a different reason to what people would normally think.
Yeah, what is that reason?
It sounds very simple, but Armz is an introvert, so being surrounded by a lot of people drains his energy more than it would most. So an occasion like this, if he was to spar the guy in the gym, there'd be no problems. He would, right. You know, he has tons of energy. They could do probably like 8 rounds and he'd be fine. But because of the occasion, it sucks a lot more energy out than it would most people.
Compared to the bouncer fight that he had, he seemed really fatigued at the end of that, but he seemed to have a lot more energy this time round. Is that because his camp's been different?
To be fair, I'm not sure as to why, and I think it's just because the occasion was a lot bigger. Although the bouncer fight is a bit intimate, this one was a bigger occasion. It's in the Wembley Arena. There's a lot more people here, yeah. And I think it really did just take it out of him.
So do you think his next fight he'll be much more prepared because he wasn't prepared for a big audience?
No, it's difficult to just be prepared for audiences. I know so many fighters that are amazing in the gym, and when they go out to big occasions, they struggle to rise. I'm different. I actually thrive off. I'm an extrovert, so I thrive off energy around me. So it actually raises me where, like I said, he's an introvert. It will do the reverse effect. So it's about getting him as many like small show fights to kind of really build himself up. But it's difficult when you're a somebody. Everyone's going to have a camera on you. Everybody wants to film you. So he's under the spotlights.
But he's okay now. Have you spoke to him? Is he happy with the win?
Oh yeah, no, he's definitely happy. He just you know, with his family and friends all celebrating, and yeah, he's definitely happy.
Amazing. I'm not gonna lie, so I'm actually got into MMA a lot more recently, and my first fight was actually watching it live. Was your fight with Lima, which was right here in Wembley. Congratulations, by the way. Do you think that MMA is getting more popular in the UK more recently, or do you think like I'm just late to the party?
No. It's definitely gained a lot more exposure since the whole Conor McGregor wave. A lot more people are now kind of getting involved in MMA. Boxing, I always say England is a boxing country. So if you're in boxing, you're a lot more known. People are a lot more accepting of boxing than they are MMA. But slowly they're becoming more educated.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, I'm loving it. You actually have a fight coming up, right? Is that still going ahead?
Yeah, again, we live in a weird time for me to actually say and be able to say that my opponent is, you know, potentially no longer going to be in the fight due to going to war, which is just so...
So it was with Amasov, and he's from Ukraine, and it's for the title fight, but it's been announced that he's gone back to his country to like help his family and stuff, right? So we don't know if it's going to go ahead. Yeah,
so obviously it's a bit up and down. I will still be there fighting. It's just we don't know if it's going to be for the title now. Obviously I'm going to continue doing my training as normal. I wish him and his family well and safe passage back to wherever they're going to go. And you never know, so it's still up in the air.
Of course. Actually, like seeing your fight, it's like on YouTube I saw some, like you seem very, in the octagon, you have like this arrogant kind of cocky way of fighting, but actually meeting you in person, you seem like the complete opposite. Are a lot of people shocked like when they meet you? And do you have like 2 different personalities? You're smiling because you know. Do you know what I mean though?
100%, yeah, no, that is part of me that I feel like I can express more in that particular area of my life. That is still part of my personality, but I understand also how to be professional as well. And yeah, I just keep it real. I'm always going to be me. I like to bust jokes and so on and so forth, and I like to express that comical side.
Yeah, it is very entertaining, so people like remember you more, isn't it?
They remember me whether they like me or they don't like me.
Right, okay. You don't mind if they don't like you or not?
Don't give a shit.
Nice. And then apart from your fighting, do you have anything like hobbies or any like career paths that you want to do like outside of that? Apart from, smashing people's faces in, that we obviously know you're good at.
Yeah, no, to be fair, I like to be multitasked in quite a few different things. Big Nasty was here earlier on. We're working on a project trying to open a school.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, so I'm working with a political party as well called Take the Initiative. So we're trying to do some stuff, get, help with the knife crime and so on the gangs more in Croydon.
My ends.
Yeah, your bits, because it needs help.
Rude.
So we're doing that. I also wrote a script that I'm actually working on at the moment. And
For a movie?
For a series. Oh, wow. But it's something that, for me, after my career in MMA, I see myself getting into acting.
Amazing, acting. Well, good luck with that. I can see you being really good at it, actually. And also, we're obviously here at the YouTube kind of boxing things. What do you think about that? Do you think, like, obviously being a professional fighter yourself, is it different? Is bringing a different audience? What are your opinions?
I don't know if I want to say it. Nah. I guess that because they're new to it, it brings a very different crowd. A lot younger.
I saw a bit of a madness tonight. I actually saw a few fights, but
yeah, it's a lot younger crowd, and they don't seem to know how to kind of compose themselves or manage that energy. Whereas older, it still happens and it can happen, but it's usually when it's like after loads and loads of drinks and so on and so forth, and it's kind of escalates slightly differently to now. Like now, anything can be triggered. The organization of it is a lot harder because you're dealing with a younger audience who are not as organized.
But it's bringing such a big audience, right? And they're making obviously a lot of money from it. So, and I've spoken to a few YouTubers tonight, and a lot of them said that they couldn't get into the ring no matter how much money that they'd offer. So I think, like, good for them. Right?
No, definitely. I always say that. A lot of people, there's a stigma attached to YouTubers, and there's a label attached to them. But people forget that you can go into boxing and MMA from all walks of life.
Right.
So you could have been a mechanic first, you could have been a this first. It just so happens.
Also at a later age as well.
And just so happens that YouTube is just now the new thing that's coming around, and people are becoming so popular in YouTube, but you can get into anything from there.
Yeah. And you're probably one of the best MMA fighters to come out of the UK. You've been doing it for 10 years. You've got a lot of respect in your name. Would you ever take a YouTuber that might not have as much experience?
No, I'd prefer to take a YouTuber with experience.
So like Jake Paul, would you have a fight with him?
I said a YouTuber with experience, but yeah.
Who's that?
He's not there yet.
But you posted and you said you was ready to fight him, no, after his fight. So what was that about?
I said it feels like I need to come back to boxing, which was my statement.
And then you'd put hashtag Jake Paul, no?
Yeah, of course. It's just the hype, though. It's just like on the fight night, make a little bit of noise. Everyone's, because I boxed as well, a lot of people are always asking me, am I going to get back into boxing?
Yeah.
It's definitely something I want to do. So obviously got some business to handle in the MMA world after my fight. Definitely want to do some boxing.
So Jake Paul, if you're watching, MVP doesn't think you're good enough to fight him, so...
I'm even going to deny that.
Well, good luck in your fight, and yeah, thank you for having this interview with me.
No problem.